Hello and welcome back to the Outdoor Station. Now this is just a quick video to give you some information which may be of some use to you relating to McNett products. They make a range of adhesive and repair adhesives and patches and things which are of great use to outdoors people. But in this particular video I want to show you a suggestion on how to use one of the products which you might find useful. There's three products I want to talk about. First of all, it is the Seam Grip. Now Seam Grip, which is this one here, Seam Grip is a repair adhesive for PU coated fabrics, and it can build up to create quite a durable waterproof patch should you wish to repair something. To give you an idea, here's one of their sample materials there, and that's a patch of Seam Grip there. And as you can see straight onto the material, it actually creates a sort of a rubberized ridge. Now, people use this in a variety of ways. Naturally, as it's intended, which is for any rips, tears and holes you might have in PU coated fabric, such as small little pinpricks from perhaps thorns, or maybe even sparks from lighting a stove or a nearby fire or something. You can put a few dabs of this on the PU coated fabric and it creates a very, very good, easy, long-term repair. And it comes in a variety of packets, a larger one here and two very small ones, which is quite useful for taking with you on a trip. The other use for this, as you can see from that rubberized strip there on that red material, is that people sometimes use it to coat the inside of their sleeping nest, their inner nest, to stop their mats slipping about. Now, of course, for that to work properly, you've got to make sure the material is PU coated fabric and not siliconized fabric, but chances are it is. And a few strips of this, just a few lines of this across the floor, left to dry, and make sure it is dry before you put it away, otherwise you're going to stick the tent to itself. You'll find that that really helps to prevent a mat sliding around on the floor, which with some of the modern sleeping mats is obviously really, really useful. The other product, which is very similar but for the different fabrics, is Silnet. Now, there's a picture of it there. Where are we? Silnet. Right, now Silnet is very similar to a Seam Grip. Seam Grip is for PU coated fabrics. Silnet is for siliconized fabrics. Exactly the same way, any little holes or tears or repairs that you might need to do in your fabric, then this is the product for you to help assist you with that. I've used both of these products, both Seam Grip on PU coated fabric and Silnet on siliconized fabric. They both work exceedingly well. The one thing to keep in mind about siliconized fabrics and any products that you have using that material is that silicone fabrics are a real pig to repair, whereas PU coated fabrics are a lot easier. There's a lot more flexibility in the adhesives that you can use and patches, whereas siliconized fabric really does require a little bit of attention, a bit of thought before you actually try and patch something up. But to give you an example, I've used this to repair a tear in a siliconized fabric tent, using a bit of spare material that was the bag that the tent came in, and basically stuck it on like a plaster on the inside using this, and within a few hours it was a very, very good patch, and the patch is still working to this day. So that's Silnet. So you've got the two products there, Seam Grip for PU coated fabric and Silnet for siliconized fabrics. Now the third product which I'd like to just have a quick chat about, which I found extremely useful, and before I do this to one of my own new purchases, I thought I'd share the video with you, and that is Freesole. Now, McNett make Freesole. This is originally designed to fix the heels or rubberized components, shall we say, on your heavy duty footwear. So when the heel of the boot comes off, or gets loose or works its way loose, or you have some sort of damage in it in whatever form it might be, you'd use a bit of Freesole to repair it and stick it back together again. The other thing it will do is with the boots that have the side paneling around the heel, for example, or around the rand and the toe, if for some reason you should have some damage and that starts to come away, either the stitching or some sort of boot damage, this will also hold it together. But the third most useful use, and the one I use this for on a regular basis, and I'm about to do it again now, is to create a rand or improve the rand on approach shoes. Now, to give you an idea, here is a pair of Innovate 295s, which I purchased last year. And what I did was, you've got the rand of the shoe, which is this area here, and this little toe section there is the toe section that comes with the shoe, as it were, the rand of the shoe. But everybody's feet are different, and my toes tend to just stick just on the inside of this rand, which sometimes can wear through this material or promote wear sooner than anything else. So what I did was I created an additional rand across the top of here on both shoes, which you can see there. So I put a diagonal strip there and a diagonal strip there. Now what that does, if I show you a new pair of shoes, the one I'm about to actually do it on, there's a new pair of 280s. I'm a fan of Innovates purely because they fit my feet very, very well, and I've always found them to be an excellent shoe for the type of activity that I do. But as you can see, the stitching where the rand finishes and the material starts here is all around the toe area there, and my big toe, as it happens, just sticks through here, and over a period of time the toe will just work its way through the material, or because that's the point of pressure, it wears thin, one or the other. The other thing is, sometimes with these approach shoes, some of the stitching around here can actually deteriorate because obviously you're going through undergrowth and stones or whatever it may be, and it wears the stitching down. So my use for Freesole is to actually dab some round the top of the stitching to reinforce the stitching, but what I'm going to do now is increase this rand so it doesn't stop here but actually comes right across the foot like that, so that will give me more protection. It's a very, very simple process. You just take your tube of Freesole, you take some masking tape, mask off the area, tube of Freesole. It does come with a little brush. That's the brush that it comes with, but I've used that several times now and that's solid, so I'm going to replace that with another little brush that I found somewhere in the box of bits, and just paint it on and then peel back the tape and leave it to dry, and I'll have a very useful pair of shoes there with decent rand protection on the upper surface of that material. So it's something I find extremely useful with this Freesole material. I'm going to do it now and show you the results, really. It's as simple as that. But I thought I'd just share a little tip to give you an idea of how you can use some of these products. As I say, Silnet and Seam Grip are always useful to keep in the drawer, but the Freesole is extremely useful for something like this, either repairing your shoes or preventing more damage happening to your shoes than you want to happen. So I'll just start sticking it together now. So as you can see, I've now got my 280s, the new 280s, rubbed the tape down so it gives it a nice sharp edge. Only tip I would say is don't leave the tape on too long, because otherwise the Freesole glue will glue the tape to the shoe, which makes it a real mess when you want to take it off again. Of course, when you do this, it will affect your warranty of your shoes as well, so make sure you're happy to do this. But basically, all it's a case of squirting it on like that and just spreading it out to give a nice thick coating on the shoe itself, and try and make as neat a job as you can of it. As you saw from the other pair of shoes, that was a year's worth of use going through some pretty rough terrain, and it lasts pretty well, and the shoe hasn't fallen apart at any stage, so that's good. And it just gives you confidence then that when you are going through tough undergrowth, that it is actually fact giving you lots of protection. So I'm just rubbing it into the stitching there, just to give the extra toe extra space. And that, as you can see, it's sort of generating a nice little thick pool of glue. Well, it's not glue really, it's a urethane, so it's sort of a rubber compound, and that's forming a nice toe rand, which will give the toes plenty of protection and hopefully stop my big toe from working its way through the shoes. So, glue in hand, that's the job done. Took, what, not even 5 minutes. I'm going to leave that to dry. I'm just going to leave it sort of 5 minutes or so before I take the tape off to stop the liquid running, as it were, into past the edge where I want it to go. And I might dab a little bit more around the stitching around the bottom of the rand. But I will show you some pictures when it's dry in about an hour or so's time and put that at the end of the video. Simple as that. So those 3 products, very, very useful. Certainly worth keeping in your repair kit or next to your equipment, because if you're not using your equipment every day, sometimes when you pick it up a year later, things have dried out or some damage has occurred in some way or another, and it's certainly well worth having the Seamgrip, Silnet and Freesole in your repair box. Thanks for watching, catch you next time. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, press the subscribe button up in the corner and join us for future releases. Or better still, pop along to the Outdoor Station website. A link is just below, and you can put some feedback in any comments there. And we can also let you know directly when we've released some new material and some of the exciting developments coming soon for outdoors people everywhere. Thanks for watching.